Hi, this is Mary Pat McKee from the Northside Farmers Market. Today we're going to do one of our budget summer recipes. It is a salmon corn chowder. In the summer, when you have lots and lots of ears of corn around, we have a soup that will be great for you. For our soup today, we're going to use a combination of items. We have milk, we have corn, chicken stock, we have salmon, and you can either use salmon from a can, fresh salmon, or today I'm using salmon from a pouch. We also have garlic, onion, we have a little bit of cherry tomato, potatoes, and carrots. When you put all these ingredients together, I guarantee you're going to like your dinner. We're going to get started by turning on our fire, adding a little bit of olive oil to the pot. And once that heats up, we're going to add our onions and get those browned. This is about one large onion that I've chopped pretty fine. We're going to let that cook for about 2 minutes to get it browning. Now that the onions have cooked for 2 minutes and they're starting to get brown, we're going to add the diced carrots and the diced potatoes to the pot. Give them a good stir to mix them in with the onion. And then these will cook for about 5 minutes. Okay, next we're going to add the minced garlic. And the recipe calls for 6 ears of corn. What you really want to do is buy at least 6 ears of corn because they're going to vary in sizes, but you need about 2.5 cups of corn cut off the cob. If you do decide to make this recipe in the fall or in the winter when there isn't corn available, you can use canned corn or frozen corn to finish this recipe. Now we're going to let this cook for another 2 minutes. The only liquid that we have in this pot at the moment is the olive oil, so constant stirring so that things do not stick to the bottom. Also, you can adjust your heat so that things do not scorch. All right, now that we've stirred and cooked the carrots, the potatoes, and the corn for a few minutes, we're going to add our liquid into the pot. The recipe calls for water at this point, but you could also use chicken stock or vegetable stock or something else along that line if you want to have a little bit more hearty flavor to it. Today I used chicken stock. Now that we've added all of our ingredients, I'm going to turn the heat back up again and bring this to a boil. We're going to let this boil for about 5 to 10 minutes until the potatoes and the carrots get tender. Now that our potatoes are cooked, we've boiled this for a few minutes, we're going to reduce the heat again. I'm going to add the salmon. I'm going to stir this around really good to break up the pieces of the salmon. Get that mixed in and get some of the flavor. Now this is going to simmer for 2 minutes, so I'm going to continue to stir it for a few minutes. Then I'm going to reduce the heat and let it simmer.
And one more time.
Now that we've let that boil for another 2 minutes, I'm going to reduce the heat just a little bit again, and I'm going to add 1 cup of milk to the soup. I'm going to stir this and let it simmer until the temperature comes back up till it's warm. And our soup is just about ready. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the soup to season it. I'm going to start with about a half a teaspoon of salt, just so I don't oversalt it. Your salmon in a can and the salmon in the pouch may have a little bit more salt with it. If you're using canned corn, that will have a little bit of salt. So you really want to add as little as you can and continue to taste it until you've got it right, rather than overdo it and then you have a big pot of something you're not going to like. I'm going to use some fresh cracked pepper to season the soup. And we're just about ready. Couple more stirs. And now we're ready to serve our soup. We've got a nice summer salmon corn chowder. We're going to garnish it with a few cherry tomatoes that we also bought at the farmer's market. And now we're ready for dinner. Enjoy.